Hello everybody and welcome back to Wilderness Adventures UK. So in today's video I am going to be doing a bit of a review on a flashlight, or a torch. If you're here in the UK it's called a torch, so I'm going to refer to it as a torch. I've been putting this video off for months, so I can do nothing but apologise to the company in question. Weather has been atrocious here in the UK since September. It's now May bank holiday here in the UK, so I'm going to crack on, show you a couple of my torches and just talk through a few of their features and try and teach or educate you what to look for when you're looking for a torch. So guys, I found a right little good spot to film this video. I'm quite chuffed with myself. So torches, we've got a fair few here and I've picked them up over many years of collecting them. Some I've been sent, some I've been gifted and some I've bought. Now their prices vary depending on what you're going for. I've got a head torch here and I think they go for about a tenner. These ones with the strips on the front, you've probably seen them advertised on your Instagram if you're into what I'm into. Great little torch. It does well. Battery life's quite decent on it. It's got various different light settings and various different colours. If that's what you need for walking your dog or, you know, a night time around camp, absolutely perfect. Now going to the other end of the spectrum, that one's a tenner, this one's about 80 quid and it's by Olight. I've had this years. Olight sent me this when I first started the channel and wanted me to review it, but yeah, I couldn't meet their requirements, so the video never got published. Cracking little torch, brilliant, still going strong to this day, and it's been about 5 years I've owned this. A little bit heavy on your head, but it does come out of the holder just here. It just unplugs and it comes out, and you can use it either on your pocket or, but it's expensive. It's really expensive, and for what you get, I don't think it's worth it for an Olight, to be honest. They're very expensive. I don't think they're very competitive with their prices, especially when you've got some of these other brands here. I'm just quickly whipping through the head torches dead quick because I'm not really here to talk about them. So yeah, I then got a night core. I can't remember the model of this one, but it's a NU25. By far my favourite head torch. It's little. Battery life is great on it. It's got various different light settings, from very bright to quite dull. So if you're trying to keep a low profile, you're not giving your location away. It does tilt, so you can have it facing your feet, or you can have it for distance and facing directly forward. That is a cracking little light. I bought that with my own money. I think I bought it from AliExpress. Can't remember how much it was, but I did give you the model, so you can go and check out what the current prices are. Again, absolutely love that. Fits in your hand, takes up no room in your pocket. Great little torch. That's the head torches gone. Good. Now we'll get on to the cream. Now with torches, you can get different colours. They range from 65K, which stands for Kelvin, which is a very white, bright light, like almost a blue white light, and then the lower the number gets, 53, 58, it goes more onto a yellow light or an orange light if the number goes very low. Depending, again, it's all personal preference. If you're wanting to go really far and see light up stuff in the distance, you want a really bright light, so you want like a K6500 or 6500. Let's talk about a couple of these lights and a couple of their features, because it might help you in searching. Now I've got a Sofern. I've got quite a few Soferns. A few of them aren't here actually, because I've got them in various bug out bags, and I've got one in the cruiser as well, so I always got a torch with me at any given moment if I ever need it. This particular one, quite cheap. I think it was about 25 quid. It's an IF22A. I got it in the silver variant. You don't have to get the silver variant, they do it in black as well. And I just wanted to get something different because all my torches are black, so I wanted a silver one. This one is very bright, and it's a spotlight, so it'll throw a really tight beam really far. But if you want to light up a big area, not really ideal for. So I bought this for when I go out with Leon and we can search fields and pinpoint certain areas in fields or woodlands. Cracking little torch, about 25 quid, USB-C chargeable. Very simple to use. I think it's got like a couple of clicks. I'm not going to shine them at the camera, but a couple of clicks and you can go varying varying intensities of light, and they're all spot. Cracking little light, love that a lot, and it's not a lot of money. Now, when I used to work at the gun shop, the lead ray tracer rep gave me this torch. Great torch, but it's a bit dated and it rattles, the battery rattles, which is quite annoying. Also, you do have to have an external charger to charge this one. It has an 18650, so you can't just plug it into USB. All the ones I've discussed so far are USB. Little battery in it, it's not the original battery, it can take a bigger battery, this one. But again, you do have to have an external charger. Very basic, this one click on, one click off, switches on the tail of it, and it's very simple. There's no intensities of brightness, it's not a very bright light, so for around a campsite, absolutely ideal. Again, you will have to go and check the current prices on these, because some of these I've had for absolute years. And the next one I've probably had for the longest, which is a Nightcore Carmelian C16. Now this thing, I bought it many years ago. It probably cost me 65 quid before I even started the YouTube channel. And the reason I bought it is it's because it's got a blue light, a green light, a red light. It's got infrared IR light. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got the infrared light, and it's got various intensities of white light as well. It is, if I remember rightly, USB chargeable, although I can't remember how the bloody hell to charge it. I doubt they even make this model anymore, if I'm being completely honest, guys. But my oldest light, hardly ever used it. Used to take it out when I went shooting a lot. But yeah, cracking little light. So I've had a little bit of a tidy away, and I've brought you to my final 5, which I consider to be my favourite, or the cream of the crop. Now, let's start with the Phoenix, which is the most expensive on this table here. This is a Phoenix PD36R. Now, Phoenix sent me a couple of torches many moons ago, and I never got around to making a review on them. This one is USB-C chargeable. It's got various intensities of light. It is quite a bright light, so it's around the 6500K. And it just throws, it just goes for ages. The light this little thing puts out is absolutely astounding. I do like it, but if you look at the price of these things, they're quite expensive. So I'm happy they sent it out to me, because I don't think I would have paid that much money for it. Moving along, we have a brand called Workhos. The Workhos FC13. That's probably one of my favourite lights. Now, Workhos and Sofern, I believe, are the same company, brother sister company or whatever. The only thing that lets this one down is it's got so many modes. It's really complicated to learn what it does. It's got like a candlelight feature where it flickers like a candle. It's got a lightning feature where it randomly just like simulate lightning. It does so much, as well as obviously the normal low, medium and high and very low mode, which they call Firefly or Moonlight, depending on what company you're referring to. But I like fiddly things. I like learning like new things. I can't tell you how to work it. Indeed, if I did want to find out, I'd have to go and watch a proper review on this torch, and so many presses of the buttons and then keep it held. It's quite complicated to use, but I really do like it. It's a nice little torch. You can even go into the settings, the UI they call it, the user interface, and you can put it on, they call it Muggle mode, which is like the simplest version, which is just like low, medium and high. So it does an awful lot, and they're not a lot of money. For the amount of features this has got, not a lot of money. I'll pop that one to the side, and I'll go on to the Sofern. I bought this again with my own money. Can't remember how much it was. Sofern IF23. I'm telling you the model, so if you are interested in them, I don't have affiliate links and all that, but if you are interested in them, India Foxtrot 23, go and have a look at it. This one is action packed. It does an awful lot. It's got a torch on that end, and it's quite a floodlight. It's quite a wide beam, this one. It doesn't go for miles, doesn't do anything crazy. So this one for around the camp is amazing, but it's party pieces. It's got an LED light on the side, sorry, a cob light on the side, and it's RGB, so it'll do every colour of the rainbow, and it's a really wide, like it'll light up a whole small area. So if you're searching for something, or if you just want to light up around where you're having a gathering, absolutely cracking torch, and it'll do every colour under the sun. So if you don't want to attract bugs to you and you want to put it on red, it'll do red. If you want to do blue because you're feeling a bit blue, you can put blue on, or whatever other colour you want. But it's also got that torch as well, which you can just use for a little bit more distance. This one's not a distance light, this one is. Not massive distance like some of the others we've discussed, but it'll do. Again, the UI, the user interface, you have to get used to it. It's so many presses, turn this one on, so many presses, turn this one on, can't remember. But cracking little light, USB-C chargeable, does an awful lot. This actually lives in my day pack. Love it. Goes with me whenever I'm out and about, and I've got my little green 511 backpack. This is always in it. Love it to bits. Then we'll come down to the last two, and I've done it like this for a reason, because you'll see the David and Goliath here. Now, the difference between these two is that one is going to last a hell of a lot longer because it's got a massive battery in it. And that one goes for absolute miles. I bought this one after I bought that silver one. And it was when I go out with Leon and we're searching for stuff and we're doing some recce's at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the one I take now. This one has what's called a zoomable beam. So you pull this out and it goes dead tight like a spot, and it'll go for absolute miles. And then you pull it in and the spot becomes a bigger spot for lighting up the immediate area. So if you hear something quite close to you and you don't want to search for it, you pull it in and it lights up the whole area. That was from AliExpress, and believe it or not, it was about 30 quid. USB-C chargeable. It's got a digital gauge that tells you the percentage, and its party trick is it's got another torch on the back end of it. It's a double ender. And this one is just like a lantern, basically. It just lights up just a full area. It's basically a lantern. It's a very big flooded area of light. And again, two different buttons, different intensity settings, but it's my thrower, and the battery lasts ages. Whereas this one, battery doesn't last ages, and this is the one we're here to talk about today. Let me grab the box and I'll tell you what it is. This is a TrustFire MC1. Now TrustFire contacted me and they told me to choose any torch of their lineup and they'd send it out for me to do a review. And this was the one I chose. Can you see why? I mean, look at it compared to my thumb. It's bloody tiny. Now, the only thing that lets this down is the battery life. Battery life isn't as good, but if you're just taking a dog out for a walk, or you're waking up in your tent in the middle of the night, you want to go for a quick wee, absolutely perfect. And the beauty of this is if you've got a peaked cap on, like a baseball cap, you can just clip it on. So you've got 2 in 1. You've got, I dropped it, you've got a head torch, and you've got a little torch that you can hold in your hand. Absolutely beautiful bit of kit. I will bring you back at the end of the video and show you what this thing can do at night time. Right guys, it's just coming up to 9 o'clock in the evening and the light is all but fading, although the camera's not going to do that justice because it's compensating. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a denser part of the woods where it's darker, and I'm going to compare the great big torch, this one here, which you can't quite see, there you go, that's better, to, bear with me, everything's in my pockets, the little tiny MC1. So let's go and find a spot. So I've come to a little makeshift wall fence type thing in the woods, and I'm going to get the MC1, which is just here, you're not going to be able to see it, and I'm going to put it on its lower setting. That's its lower setting just there, you can see it, and I'll scroll through the different settings. So that's the next one up, and that's one higher, and that's the highest setting of the MC1. And just to show you what that looks like in the woods, and that's all from this little tiny torch. It's doing a fantastic job. And now we'll jump over to the bigger one. So guys, we're back on the wall, and this one sets off in the highest setting, so we're going to work in the reverse order this time. So that's its highest setting, going slightly lower, and then it goes to strobe. I do apologise, I forgot it did that. And that's SOS. So just to show you what that looks like out in the wild, let's start over here. As you can see, it's a massive spread. If I move over there, so I'm not so close to everything, I can actually, and that is obviously the highest setting again. There's the highest setting, lower, and the lowest setting. But where this one differs, if I go down there, I can condense the beam into a really tight spot. Can you see that? And then I can go off the highest setting, really bright. So guys, we're back in the truck. Just going to give you one final demonstration of these two lights. Remember, this one starts in high and it goes medium and low, and this one is the other way around. It starts low, medium and high. I'll knock big light off in the truck now, and we'll just scroll through the different settings on both lights. We'll start with the little one first, and here we go. Pitch black. So that's your low setting just there. If I shine it on my face, you can just see my face there. And on the back door, ample. So if you're looking for something, if you're looking to find the buttons on a different torch, or you're looking to do something that you don't need much light at all, that's perfect. Then you go up to medium, lights up the cab quite well. There it is on the back wall again. And then we'll go to the final setting, which is the high setting, which is, yeah, it'll throw quite far, that, believe it or not. If we were outside, that would go quite a distance if it was really dark. We'll switch over to the big torch now. Let me just get my buttons lined up. I'll knock this one off. And then this one's going to start in the high mode. There's your highest setting there. I have got it on flood at the moment, and it's quite bright, and obviously you can condense it like we showed outside and go to a really narrow beam, but for the sake of this video we're going to keep it on wide. It's probably going to knock off now because I didn't do it quick enough, so there you go. Let's turn it back on. There's medium, and there's your lowest setting there, but you can still see the circular beam there, and we can condense it again. That's in low. What I'll do is I'll quickly knock this torch off, and I'll go to the back end of the torch, which is like the lantern mode. So there's your lantern on high. That one is just a massive flood. It's not so much a spot unless you hold your hand really close to it. Again, it's going to probably knock it off. Yeah, but this side too has different modes. So that is your high, that is your medium. Let me just get the camera to focus, and that's your low. I'll turn big light back on it, Van, and we'll conclude this video. So I don't know which one will suit you better. I know I'm going to be using this one a lot more than this one. This one is just strictly when I'm out with Leon and we're searching for stuff at night time. This one is more versatile. You haven't got the distance with it, but you're rarely going to need that distance unless you're looking for something on the horizon. But yeah, great little torch. Thank you very much for sending it out to me. Again, the MC1, do a search, and all the links will be in the description of the video. I hope you found this video informative. Try to give you a little bit of a how-to, if you will, what to look for when you're looking for a torch. Yeah, so guys, until the next video, you all look after each other, and I'll see you again very soon.